Hello all, today we're going to do an unboxing video on a 2-in-1 soldering station with digital display. It's a 750 watt soldering station. I've always used up until now just a hobby soldering iron, 25 watt, 30 watt, and it's been fine. But I thought recently I'd upgrade, so I had a look round on eBay, and there's probably about 3 or 4 different types of stations on there. I had a good read through and this one looked the best. I don't really do hot air desoldering, but I thought for the future, well, if I'm going to pay the money I'm going to pay for this, I may as well have a hot air station as well. I might use it, I might not. I picked this up off eBay for £42.99 delivered. So we'll do an unboxing and we'll see what we've got, but this is the box that it came in. 2.8 kilograms. Picture of the box on there. It's arrived with no damage, so let me open this up and we'll see what's inside. Okay, so the box is open. So we've got a nice piece of probably 10 centimetres, quite thick foam at the top. Got user instructions. That's the unit inside the box. As you can see, it's nicely protected with foam all the way around. The gun here, that was against the side of the box, so that probably could have been better packed. Maybe a piece of foam around there would have been better, but it doesn't look like it's got any damage, so let's lay these things out and see what we got. Got a lead in there, nice thick lead. Unit itself. Soldering tray. Various hot air tips. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Pair of tweezers. And we've also got 5 tips as well. Not seeing anything else in the box, but again, the bottom of the box has got this foam envelope. As I say, the only thing that was a pity was they didn't just do that extra bit around the edge there, but it got here in one piece, so I can't really complain. Right, let's lay this out and we'll have a look what we got. So that's all the contents laid out. One thing I will suggest you watch for when you go to buy one of these is I noticed some sellers, although this came with the 5 tips, were not including the 5 tips in the sale for the same unit. This is the 8582D. They were then obviously selling these as spares, so it's a bit naughty taking them out of the pack that it comes with, selling them as spares when they should come with the unit. So if you're going to order a unit, check it comes with the spare tips, because otherwise you've just got to go out and buy them. The soldering iron does have a tip in it, so anyway, let's get a bit better set up and we'll go through and open each one up and have a look at the quality and see what it looks like. Okay, we've got a standard kettle power lead. I don't know what they're called, IEC leads I think. So compared to some stuff you buy, God, I can't even get that undone. That's got it. Yeah, it's a nice long lead, probably about 3 foot long. Kettle lead, comes with a fuse on it, obviously made in China, but the lead feels quite good insulation on there as well. And yeah, it doesn't feel a cheap lead. Sometimes you get them and you think, oh, I'm not sure about the resistance on the outside of the cable, you know, the insulation. But that's fine, it's about 3 foot long, so that's a nice length of lead to have. Here's the soldering iron itself. So it's a standard mechanism for open these up. You unscrew that, take that off. Tip pulls off so you can change your tip. It's a very fine tip. Then you've got your heating element there. So yeah, I like that. That's good. I might, to be honest with you, I might actually put a tiny bit of something on these threads because they don't feel particularly, they feel a bit coarse, to be honest. So maybe a tiny bit of oil, but putting that in a soldering iron is not good, but I'm going to just put something on there. But yeah, soldering iron feels nice. You've got like a little padded handle here, which is quite comfortable. It's quite well balanced as well. Again, decent bit of lead. You've got a 6-pin plug on the end here, which screws in. And yeah, good cable strain. So yeah, nicely balanced. It says 908D, and it's a 70-watt soldering iron, 24 volt, and it's ESD safe. So again, quite a nice powerful soldering iron. Should be able to achieve the temperatures that I want. Put that back in its bag. I'll have a look at the tips for the hot air now. To be honest with you, I've done very limited hot air soldering, so what these are, I've no idea. We've got one big large square one, round one, a finer round one, and a big round one. So you've got 3 different diameters of round, going from the biggest on the right to the smallest on the left. Square one, and you've got, oh, this is interesting. So that one's got a screw with a nut and bolt on it. I've got, oh yeah, I have, and then I've got 3 nuts and bolts here, just laying in there loose. So I'm just going to quickly put these in the items, otherwise I'll end up with losing those. Let me do that off camera. Right, so they've all got now their nuts and bolts in. We can have a better look at the diameter of the holes now. So that's your 3 little hole ones. So if I bring them forward, you can see the difference in those. And then you've got the big square one, and they've all got their little nuts and bolts in. I mean, if it hadn't turned up, I mean, these are quite standard, you could get those quite easily. Funny enough, I was using some tweezers last night for soldering I was doing before this came. And my tweezers weren't very good, so I'm really hoping these are going to be good. Yeah, and they close to the point and don't open up, so they are a good, usable pair of tweezers. They're perfect, and they've got a little thing to go over the end, keep them nicely closed, save you damaging the tip. So that for me is brilliant on a personal note, because I say I needed some last night and mine were rubbish. Right, then we've got the 5 tips. Let's have a look at the shape of the tips. So we've got a square one, ever such fine pointed one there, bigger pointed one, dumpy round one, something that looks like a Stanley knife blade. Never seen that soldering iron tip before, but oh well. In fact, we've got 5. That's ideal, but I will probably invest in another pack of tips as well, just so I've got some spares, because quite often these things go out of manufacture and you can never get tips and things for them, so I'll probably stock up, so I've got a few years worth. I don't know how much they are, but we'll have a look and we'll see. Okay, then we've got the soldering station itself. Quite a sturdy unit. So let's see how the soldering iron fits in. Oh, that fits in really nicely actually. It's got this collar on it, and it's got a collar thing in there as well, so you push that in. There's no way that's falling out. That's nice, and then the tip's completely in thin air. It's all metal. So yeah, I like that. That is good. You've got a little tray here as well. Sponge is fairly thin, could have done with being a bit bigger. I normally cut them and to make them to fit the whole of the tray, so I should probably not use this and just use my own stuff again. But yeah, not bad. One thing I've just noticed, this edge here, I think if you went like that with your hand, it would cut you to death. I'm going to, I don't know if this comes off. No, it doesn't. I'm probably going to put a bit of tape or something down there. That is really sharp. This edge isn't. That edge is razor sharp. And it slightly protrudes out as well. Ah, it does come off. Yeah, I'm going to definitely put something on there. Jesus, that's sharp. Same with this back edge as well. So, yeah, interesting to note that you probably cut yourself on it. Oh no, look, I've bent it now. Didn't do it right. That has to go into that slot first, then you push it in. Oh, well, I haven't bent it. Right. Okay, on to the next bit. But yeah, not so good on the finish there. You've definitely cut yourself on that. Okay, on to the hot air gun next. I say I don't tell you much about these. I haven't used them for a few years, but that feels quite nice and balanced. And obviously the tips just slip on here, then you tighten them on. But yeah, that's not a bad old bit of kit really. It's not heavy. Feels good quality. Got a little thing on here saying hot. Not that anyone would be stupid enough to touch it, but yeah, I could definitely work with that. Nice bit of cable. Ah, and you've got a different connector on here, so you can't put the hot air gun into the soldering iron terminal. The other one was a 6-pin. This is a 2, 4, 6, 7. This is an 8-pin. So you've got 6 and 8 pins. So you can't disconnect and put the wrong one in where. So that's pretty good. Quite fail safe. Again, nice cable. Let's see how long you got on here. Oh yeah. Potentially getting on for 3 feet again, so you've got a nice long cable on there. So you could mount the unit some way from where you was working, still have access to it, so that's good. Right, pop that over there. And then we come to the actual unit itself. Doesn't feel particularly heavy. So we've got power on off. I'm assuming for the soldering and hot air side. You split the unit down the middle, soldering this side, hot air this side. Got calibration. And I'm assuming this is a temperature gauge control. It's got like a serrated action to it, so it does go up in little increments. So that would allow you to do a very fine set. You've got this on this side, I'm assuming is for the hot air gun. Yep. I'll show you that again. Yeah, that's really nicely held in. The lip here catches on the end of here, which has got like a little recess, and that sits in there really well with the cable at the bottom just holding it, but it's not likely to come out, so that's pretty good. So power on off. Now, as I said, this is a model 8582D 2-in-1 digital rework station. Obviously I'm in the UK, so mine input 2 is 220 to 240 volts AC. Made in China. It's a plastic case. 4 4 feet on the bottom. So, oh yeah, the arm for the thing is riveted on, so that's on there quite well. Feels very solid. It's quite a nice finish with the black. I like that. So let's put some power on it, see what it looks like when it comes on. I have to say, I am far from impressed with this. Look, normally and it goes in. I've got to put quite a bit of pressure on it and really push in the back to get this in. So I will not be disconnecting that power lead now, because I fear if you pushed it too hard you may break the back. So that, in my eyes, is quite disappointing for this unit. It should just push in and be a snug fit. You shouldn't have to really force that in. So yeah, not impressed with that. Yeah, these connectors and things that I'm putting in have a very cheap feel to them. So once I put these connectors in, just like the power cable at the back, I don't think I'm going to be taking them back out again. That's the only downside I've found with it so far. They've done a really good job on the rest of it, but this is very cheap. There is a little slot here that matches up with a slot here, allowing you to push them in. The other thing I've noticed though, as soon as you connect the power, the unit's on. I haven't actually turned the unit itself on, so as soon as you connect it to a plug socket, there's power inside the unit. There's no on-off switch as such, which is a bit disappointing. I would have liked a mains on-off bit of power at the back. So let's flick one of these switches and see what happens. So allegedly it was set at 400. So that, oh I see. So you got, yeah, so that's your down button. Then I can set the power. So that works quite well. So let's turn that off. I don't want the soldering iron going. What about the hot air? Okay, so why is nothing happening on that side? Okay, so nothing seems to be happening on the hot air side. Let's have a quick read of the instructions. Oh, hang on. So it would appear you have to take this out the holder. Oh yeah, that is hot. Get it to go. But now, so it's still going in the holder. Oh yeah, so that knob in the middle is for the hot air. So I'll turn it off. Still going. I really should read the instructions. Let's make it go really low, 100. So it's still cooling down at the moment. I'll set it to 100. Oh, it shut, whatever your temperature you set it to, it will shut itself off on the way back down then. Okay. So we turn that off. So, yeah, it works. I've yet to fire some solder through it. And the last thing that we haven't looked at, see now, although I'm not using it, you've still got the power onto the unit. So I now really have to go and flick the switch to turn it off, which I didn't want to do. Anyway, got the instruction manual, got a schematic diagram of the unit itself. Power supply should be turned off before maintenance. Okay. It's got a bit on what's what in the manual. Our introduction, operating guide. Yeah, you've got normal mode and input mode. Sleep mode. Oh, when the soldering iron handle is placed in the brackets for 10 minutes, the machine will go into sleep. That's pretty good. If the temperature sensor is broken or has an internal circuit, SE would appear. So I haven't got SE, so mine's working all right. Oh, here's the nozzle that we got for any of you hot air buffs. We got a 4mm diameter round one, 8mm diameter round one, 10mm diameter round one, and 12mm diameter square one. Temperature conversion chart. Oh, soldering iron 80 watts, hot air gun 750 watts. Heat adjustment, you've got 200 degrees to 480 degrees on the soldering iron, and 100 to 480 degrees on the hot air gun. Stability of the soldering iron is plus or minus 1 degree and plus or minus 2 for the hot air gun. The airflow is 120 Al per min. I don't know what Al stands for. Yeah, pretty good. Now it says there you get a 2-in-1 soldering station body, a 908D soldering iron, hot air gun, soldering handle bracket, yeah, cleaning sponge, power cord, hot air nozzle, and user's manual. So that's pretty good. So yeah, next thing to do is fire this beast up in anger and check how it goes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. As I say, for 42 quid, you can't complain. But as I say, I would strongly recommend that once you get these connectors in, and particularly that power cord connector around the back, you do not remove them. I think if you repeatedly move those and put them in and out, I think you're going to risk breaking it. But if you buy the unit, put those in, don't remove them, yeah, I think you'll be alright. I mean, you can't complain for £42. It's great. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed the unboxing video. If anyone has any questions or anything, you know what to do, comment below, and I'll try and answer them if you can. I'll do a video in the future of me actually using the unit after I've used it for a bit, and then I'll let you know how I'm finding it, if I think it's working okay, how well the tips are, whether I've changed the tip to a different type for soldering. Yeah, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, keep subscribing.